Overwhelm seems to be all around us right now. I am hearing about it from clients, from colleagues, from different connections, seeing things out there about it. There's a lot going on in your business, in your life, in our world that can seem pretty overwhelming right now. So, what does overwhelm feel like? For me, for a lot of the people in my world, it feels like this sort of general anxiety, almost feeling charged up sometimes. I find my thoughts are swirling. I'm not as focused as I usually am. It often will take me longer to get through something that I'm reading or something that I'm writing or just something that I'm focusing on. And it takes me a lot longer to make decisions, which I'm usually very decisive. So that's a real signal to me that something's going on and that I'm overwhelmed. And you may see it on your team. A perspective that I hold and that I have shared with every team that I've worked on and that reported to me when I was in the corporate world and teams that I've worked with as an executive coach is my gravity framework. And I have to say, this is not my intellectual property. It's not my original thought. I heard this from a consultant many years ago. I honestly don't know who it was, but I kind of want to attribute that to the universe, that this is someone else's brilliance that has served me for a long time. So here's the concept. Any issue will fall into one of three areas. The innermost circle is something that's in your span of control. I have half an hour between now and my next client. It's within my span of control what I choose to do with that time. So I'm choosing to do this video, span of control. The next outer circle, concentric circle, is something that's in your sphere of influence. So it may not be something that you directly are doing, but it may be something that you have asked your team to do, or someone else has to deliver to you. So you have influence over it, but it's not directly in your span of control. And any issue that doesn't fit into one of those other two circles is what I call gravity. And by gravity, what do we mean? It's a law of physics. It's a force of nature. We could form high-level think tanks, bring in the smartest people in the world to focus on this problem of gravity, and it will never change. If you fall at the top of the stairs, you're going to end up at the bottom. It's gravity. So if an issue is as unmovable as is gravity, and you focus on it, it can create that anxiety because there's really nothing you can do to move it. So what can you do? Think about within that situation, what is within your span of control or your sphere of influence. Focusing on the thing you can do will break that overwhelm and reduce that anxiety. So for my pharma and biotech folks, where so much of my network is, here's an example that you can relate to. Say the FDA comes up with a label change or says you can't use a certain piece of data that you're hoping to use in promotion. Gravity. At the moment, you can't change anything about it. Now, maybe something that's in your sphere of influence is affecting that change longer term, working with your regulatory folks, your legal folks, the people that need to be engaged in that decision, and putting an effort forward to challenge the decision, change the FDA guidelines. That's possible. Within your span of control directly might be, what do you do with that decision? How do you use a subset of the data? Move on to some other way of proving that important point. What can you do? But worrying about the decision is gravity and will just create anxiety in the moment. For my finance audience, similar kind of thing with any kind of regulation that comes down with a public company. There's a lot you can't do, a lot you have to do in certain ways. It may be gravity. So figure out within that guideline, what can you do? What's in your sphere of influence? What's in your span of control to make happen? And in that way, you can get into action and break that sort of foggy feeling of anxiety and worry that you can't do anything about. So teams that have folks out there that have reported to me in the past, this will sound familiar. We used to have these conversations all the time. If I was in team meetings and things were swirling a little bit, you may need to let people vent for a little bit, but then it's hey guys, are we focused on gravity or is there something we can do about this? And that became shorthand for let's get into action. Let's focus our energies into things that can really make a difference. So I hope that's helpful for you. I would love to hear how you put that into action, or if there's anything that you want to discuss about it, be in touch. Putting some more focus on gravity or using gravity as a tagline out there, I think is one way that I can put a few ripples in the pond. So hope it helps.